handed me a book. We lived in the parsonage. We had parsonages then, so we lived right behind the church. So he came from his church office to the house and handed me a book. And he said, I don't want to prejudice you, but read this and tell me what you think about it. And I noticed that it was an orange book, and I'm not used to seeing orange books. And when he gave it to me, it had black writing on it, black print on it, and then the author's name in a small white space underneath the white print underneath the title. And the title of the book was Black Theology and Black Power by James Cone.
Mm.
Cone, of course, known as the father of modern Black liberation theology in the academy. It
Yes,
already
yes.
existed in Black America. But of course, since we were not allowed to pursue graduate degrees until the 1950s, it hadn't made its way into the academy until James Cone really started writing about it. And so he ends up at Union Theological Seminary in New York and teaches there for the duration of his career after Black Theology, Black Power comes out. And then, of course, his next book in 1970, Black Theology, Liberation, Black Theology and Black Power, published in 1969 on the heels of the assassinations of King and Malcolm and King, and then the riots that emerged after King's assassination. And that book had a transformative effect on my entire life. It gave me the piece of the puzzle that was missing when I left college. That is that I had a deep grounding in African-American history growing up in the house I grew up in and taking a cognate in African-American studies under the great Dean Willie Harriford at the University of South Carolina. But there was something else that was missing for me. And for me, what that piece was the redemptive nature, the redemptive piece, that Black history. And our struggle for justice, our struggle to fight for our humanity in a nation that politically, socially, economically, culturally deemed us inhumane.
Mm.
Redemptive value to it. And I saw in Black theology and Black power the history of Black people being theologized in such a way that Cone was trying to give and did do a good job of giving redemptive meaning to the Black historical struggle for justice. And so that was it for me. It gave me Black history, but not only gave me Black history, it gave me the divine mandate to achieve liberation in an oppressive context that stems not just from our ancestors, but from a divine source that even drove our ancestors to fight for their freedom. And so it began then to fit like a glove for me. And so at that point, I did enter the ministry. And my father didn't want me to be a jackleg preacher, as he said. And so he said, I'm going to send you to get some training, and I'm sending you to ITC in Atlanta, the Interdenominational Theological Center in Atlanta. And so that was also life-changing for me because I got a chance to get 3 years of coursework in both the European and the African diasporic theological traditions. And it was transformative as well. While I was at ITC, I met Jacqueline Grant, who is considered the mother of womanist theology, who was a student of Cone's, and Cone encouraged to write out of the unique experience of Black women's oppression. She became my principal advisor, and she encouraged me, along with my biblical studies professor, Dr. Timba Mofiko, to pursue the PhD. Now, I was torn between doing a PhD in Old Testament, which Dr. Mofiko wanted me to do, and doing the PhD in theology, which Dr. Grant wanted me to do. And so at the end, giving my allegiance to Cone and him being a theologian and him getting me into this, so to speak, along with Jacqueline Grant's encouragement in womanist theology, who, by the way, is from Georgetown, South Carolina, the mother of womanist theology. First woman to get a PhD in systematic theology in American history is from Georgetown, South Carolina. And so I decided to do theology because all of the other subdisciplines, biblical studies, church history, all of that, to me, fell under the auspices of theology. That whether we're talking about the future of the church, whether we're talking about biblical interpretation, that to me is all grounded in theology. And so I decided to do the PhD in systematic theology.